Hey guys, how's it going? So, like, if you saw, like, that one meat grinder level, and, like, what I think you all, like, so much with support, it really means a lot, and I did not expect the level to get that big. Anyway, all the structures in the level use, like, except for this, all the structures in the level use, like, lots of slopes and, like, really intricate, weird designs. And, like, when I was making the level and showing off some of the progress in Discord, a couple people thought it was cool. So I just wanted to make a tutorial on, like, how I actually made these and what my process for them was, if anyone, like, wants to make them for their own levels, because I do think these look cool. It would be cool to show others how I made them. So the first thing I did was just have, like, some, like, base to go off with. It could be, like, maybe a spike, or a block, or like two other slopes, and then you just like build some slopes going off of them. So for meat grinder, I mostly only used like the taller slopes that are at like 22.5 degree angles ish. I know it's different, but I don't really care. And I just like built something to go off them. So like for this spike here, I would maybe build like these two slopes going kind of like this, and then you get kind of this design. And by the way, when it comes to stuff like this, I almost always try to make them symmetrical. Sometimes they're not, but usually I make it so they are. And then once you do this, you just like keep building more off them. So with the spike pillar, I like to make them maybe go down. Just copy like the same design, because this is all I can really do when I'm making it go down. I can get something like this. And then, you know, this looks fine as is, but you can also build off of it to make it look cooler. And what I mean by this is like, you can maybe put some slopes over here and make it something like this. And maybe you can also make more designs with those, and you can also put like a more flattened base on the ground, and you can also make these kind of connect up to that like this, so you have like this sort of easing curve, and then eventually you get something that's like really intricate and complex and messy. It looks like this, and then you've kind of done it right. You also can do like, and like I did have like some ground rules to making these look sort of like consistent. First of all, I try to like not have any like sharp square edges, so like none of these. I usually like round them off with slopes so they look more like this. Nothing that looks like too incoherent, so like all of the lines kind of have to flow together. So, you know, nothing with like this where like the lines just jump weirdly like that. Except this is kind of cool actually. I can do something like this. I'm like, yeah, I like that. And then after that, you know, you can kind of just follow these rules, and if you do that, you'll eventually get cool structures that look like this. Now there are some ways you can kind of vary it, like if I just do this here, you can maybe combine like the 45 degree slopes. You can use this to make cool designs, kind of. I wouldn't use them too much because you don't have as much versatility as with like these slopes, because you can make more complex lines. Here you only have 45 degrees, so you have like far less freedom, but you can add those and make some pretty cool stuff. You can also combine like blocks in there. I didn't do that with meat grinder, but it is like an option. So like here I can just do this and then extend out like that and have like a block as a base, except this is kind of hard to pull off because there's usually not many like flat lines and stuff. You can also, here I just use like the basic grid looking kind of slopes, but you know, you can increase the variety kind of. This doesn't affect like the structure and shape of the slopes, but if you just want to make them, you know, look a bit prettier, then this is an option. This looks really bad. It's just a basic example, but yeah, it's kind of all I wanted to talk about, mindlessly rambling about these structures because I like how I did them and I'm pretty proud of them. Okay, bye.